What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Hot Tea and MTG. Today we're going over a deck that I found in my old deck box, usually kept in here. It's empty now because I've taken it out and kind of divided it up to go through a deck tech video. But this is a black deck, a mono black deck. I have to think that this belonged to my older brother in the 90s. Two of my brothers used to play Magic. One stuck with it for a long time, and one at one point just gave his cards to us. He was like, you know what, guys, I'm out. I have to think this was one of his decks because I don't remember building this at all, and it has cards in it I don't remember owning. Just a peek at the basic lands, a lot of Mirage. You know, what is this? Tempest. Okay. Swamps. Just a quick look at the land base. Here we go. These things, Ebon Stronghold. Now they don't make these anymore for sure. It's not a dual land, but you can kill it and get 2 out of it at any given time. Then there's this thing. This is the one thing that might have been me, because I don't think there's a single shadow creature in this entire deck. But things like this used to get put into our decks just because we didn't have enough basic land to fill it out. So hey, this will give you a colorless land. Just get it in there. All right. So let's take a look at. We've got this portion here. This is most of the standard fare. Sadistic Glee is a buff card. Deathstroke, deal with other monsters being put out. Unholy Strength, a censored version of the Unholy Strength with no pentagram in the background. Sorceress Queen, which used to make me really upset as a kid, because hey, you got a really awesome dude. Well, guess what? Now he's 0-2. Just till the end of turn, though. We got the Black Knight, protection from white. Tar Pit Warrior, which always irritated me when my older brothers played him, but whenever I play him, it doesn't seem to work for me. Another Black Knight, Sadistic Glee. This thing that has flanking. Here's another one that's just like, Will of the Wisp, which I don't think I've encountered anywhere else. I have no idea of this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's dollars and cents worth anything, but I really like this card, and I'm glad I still have it. We got Mourning, and we're going to get to the real synergy here in a second. This is just most of the average creature base. Now, this deck is based primarily around a small stack of about 6 or 7 cards. More Deathstroke. We got another 4/4 First Striker. Urborg Justice. What does this do? Number of creatures he or she controls equals the number of creatures put in your graveyard from play so far this turn. Okay. Dark Ritual. Okay. Got a few Dark Rituals. We got some more creature buff. Sinjir Vampire. This is another card that I remember this dealing a lot of damage and being really troublesome as a kid. But as it turns out, they're not. They didn't. Not a whole lot of cash if you want to get yourself a copy of the Sinjir Vampire. Thank goodness. Black Knight. Tar Pit Warrior. Okay, I think we're about ready to dig into the fun stuff. Here is the stuff that just kind of shocked me. All right, this is the way my older brother used to play. First and foremost, let's take a look at Demonic Tutor. That's $40, son. What is this doing in here? Now I know this card has got quite a bit of wear on it, but what on earth is this doing in my collection? It belongs in a museum. All right, so we're looking at Breeding Pit, which, if you're not familiar with Breeding Pit, it locks down 2 of your mana, but every turn you get a 0/1 Thrall counter. Breeding Pit, Breeding Pit, Breeding Pit. Okay? This is a core component of this deck, and my older brother has a similar deck that just drives us all nuts. And it depends upon Breeding Pit. You got to be ready to put this out, because once you do, it's going to lock down your mana base. But at this point, you're getting 4 Thrall tokens, 4 black 0/1 creatures at the end of every turn. All right, so what happens now? Bad Moon. Now they're 1/2. Now they're 2/3. Now they're 3/4. Just take a look at these Bad Moons for a minute. I know the light is a little bit too bright on them. Let's see if I can fix that. I guess I would order them like this. Beta, revised, 4th edition. Don't know how much that is, but again, what on earth is this doing in my collection? just looking at the back, you can see all the years on this card. All right, so you have the Bad Moons, which are clearly in there to juice the breeding pits. Then you've got 2 Jet Medallions, because everything after that is going to be super expensive. The smallest spell is going to be super expensive with all the mana tied up in the breeding pit. And then at that point, everything else is designed to eat up the creatures that the breeding pit puts out. All right, so you got 4 creatures coming every turn. You can use them with this thing, sacrifice cards to draw a card. You can use up your Thrall tokens that way, or you can feed them to the Fallen Angel, who can... Great, 4 colorless, or 4 Thrall tokens. Feed them all to the Fallen Angel, right? She's going to go ahead and deal 8 more damage this turn in the air. And we've also got, what is this? Hecatomb. And you can do some stuff with that as well. All right. So there are some missing cards from this formula. Okay. We've got we've got the Breeding Pit, and we've got the Black Moon. This is the basic combo that this is built on. The third card missing here is Pestilence, which will then deal 1 damage to everything. Okay? But your Thrall tokens at this point, it takes 2 to kill them. So you can comfortably use Pestilence at this point, and your army will live. Okay? That's the combo. It's a 3-card combo. Breeding Pit, Bad Moon, Pestilence. I don't have Pestilence in this deck. I don't know what gives. I guess I just... my older brother who built it, there was no singles market at the time. He must have been in the market for a couple of Pestilence cards and just didn't quite make it. I uncovered this tonight, and I actually played with it against my son. And as I was going through the deck, not really knowing what was in here, I saw some of these expensive cards, and I was like, yeah, I'm not playing with this deck again. I have no idea what's going to happen to these, but they're not going to be played with on the carpet with no deck protector. All right, boys and girls. That's this insane black deck that, to be honest, I've had this for years. Years I've had this deck. I've held on to it ever since those old days. So, yeah. So I've had these expensive cards since the 90s. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I assume they're going to go back in the box and stay there. Because I don't mind selling my expensive cards, but I don't want to break up my decks. This deck is a part of like my it's part of my collection. It's not going anywhere. Well, all right, boys and girls. Thanks for watching. This is Hot Tea and MTG. I'll see you in the next one.